What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. We're less than 400 subs away from my aim of 45,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links, including my X, Instagram and TikTok. The links to them are in the description, along with my email if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's transfer update. We're aiming for 300 likes, and also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news to speak about, so we're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've got the very latest on Ilkay Gundogan. Now, Florian Plenttenberg in Germany has said that right now no negotiations or talks are underway between Manchester City and Galatasaray over Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan was being linked earlier last week when Galatasaray declared their interest in bringing in Ilkay Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan, I believe, is interested in a potential move to Turkey in particular. I imagine if he was to be offered a longer term contract, he's got 12 months left on his City contract, of course, due to him triggering the extension due to appearances on his contract. So if Galatasaray were to come forward and say you can have a 3-year contract or something, that may appeal to Ilkay Gundogan, who obviously has close association with Turkey. So something like this is a transfer that makes a lot of sense. It's just quite difficult for Galatasaray to make it happen, in particular with a transfer fee involved, the wages that Ilkay Gundogan would be looking for, and also Ilkay Gundogan likes Manchester and he likes Manchester City. He's incredibly settled here, and I imagine Ilkay Gundogan would be very happy about the thought of having another 12 months at Manchester City. And I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to the long-term future of Ilkay Gundogan, I'd love to see Ilkay Gundogan offered some kind of coaching capacity at Manchester City. He's working towards his badges. He loves Manchester. He loves Manchester City as well. And obviously, with him getting towards the end of his career, I think that would make a lot of sense. And I think the same can be said with Kevin De Bruyne as well, with how settled he was in Manchester. Obviously, still feels like he can compete at the top end of European football for a few more years. But once it comes to them actually wanting to walk away from the from playing, and it looks towards the future and what the future looks like when they're not playing football, Ilkay Gundogan's already preparing for a coaching role, and I wouldn't rule out Ilkay Gundogan maybe staying at Man City and at some point in the next 12 months being offered some kind of coaching capacity at Manchester City. And Ilkay Gundogan may be willing to take something like that on and hang up his boots early. I mean, Xabi Alonso did it, and look how tremendously successful he's been being a football manager now. Still a very young manager, of course, and Ilkay Gundogan, he's got a great understanding of the sport, of football, and with Manchester City as well. So I don't think it's all entirely there with a move to Turkey being the next thing for Ilkay Gundogan. It wouldn't surprise me if it is true. I just don't think it's as foregone as what other people make out. And obviously Florian Plenttenberg taking the opportunity to just quieten things down when it comes to that transfer of Ilkay Gundogan going to Galatasaray. I still wouldn't rule out Gundogan leaving in this summer transfer window, but if he does end up staying, I wouldn't rule out some kind of coaching role being offered to Gundogan at some point in the future. He's working towards his coaching badges, so we'll see. Definitely one for me to keep my eyes and ears open for. Now, moving on, we do have the latest on Bernardo Silva as well, and it has been reported that he's been made one of 4 club captains at Manchester City for the upcoming season, and because of that to me is the strongest suggestion that we've had that Bernardo Silva will be staying at Manchester City at least for the next 12 months. Now, Bernardo Silva's contract is up next summer. I don't think Bernardo Silva is overly that keen on signing a new contract with Manchester City. Obviously, he's spoken pretty publicly and openly about wanting to move back to Iberia and a move back home to Portugal, or he'd be open to a move to Spain. I think Bernardo's always been a bit unsettled about how the weather is and how life in Manchester is, and it's funny how some people take to life. Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan have loved it. Bernardo Silva, I think, has enjoyed it, but is missing a bit of the sunshine in Iberia. So it's very much just looking like, you know, he knows he's got his contract. He's not willing to extend any further beyond that, and obviously happy to do another 12 months at City whilst being one of 4 captains at Manchester City. And if Bernardo Silva ends up having another brilliant season, I mean, he loves Man City, he loves playing football in the Premier League. I'm not going to sit here and rule out that Bernardo Silva could potentially even extend his City contract. I don't think he will, but I wouldn't rule that out. Other captains at City are apparently looking at for the season is Ruben Diaz, Rodri and Erling Haaland. So all of them players named, I imagine, will be staying at Man City. I was expecting Ruben Diaz, Rodri and Erling Haaland to stay at Manchester City. There was always a few question marks about interest coming in from Benfica and Bernardo Silva, but it's looking like he's going to be staying as well. And I do find it really interesting now with Rodri, because we obviously heard about these links with Real Madrid. I'm not expecting Real Madrid to make a move for Rodri this summer. It's all about, will Rodri be put on a new contract? And that for me is what City need to be focusing on. I have no problem with Man City not really doing too much in this transfer window over the coming weeks, as long as in the coming few weeks we do get a big announcement like Rodri on a new contract, because I think that would be one of the biggest and best bits of business that City could do in this summer transfer window. Now moving on to the ins, we've got just one story to speak about, and we've got the very latest on Sverre Nypan, who I'm expecting to be Manchester City's 5th summer signing in this transfer window. Now the transfer window did shut on June 10th. It's now reopened. It opened on June 16th, so it's now reopened. So the transfer window will be open between now and September 1st. It closes at 7 p.m. BST for Manchester City in the transfer window, so it means Man City can once more sign and announce players once more, and I don't think City are going to hold back. Sverre Nypan will be very soon added by Manchester City, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano last night, that Sverre Nypan had landed in Manchester ahead of his medical today, which I do believe has now been completed. He's potentially already signed his Man City contract as well. It's believed that contract is going to be a 5-year contract, with Manchester City paying £12.5 million to Rosenborg BK over in Norway to bring in Sverre Nypan. Sverre Nypan is an 18-year-old Norwegian central midfielder, and it is believed that with him signing such a long contract at Manchester City, I think that suggests for me that he is seen potentially as a first-team player for Manchester City in the coming seasons. It's just going to be for the next 12 months. He's not going to be around the City first-team squad, and he is going to be spending the next 12 months on loan. Still waiting on word on where that is going to be. We do know it's not going to be Girona. Man City were interested in making Sverre Nypan a CFG signing for him to sign for Girona. Nypan didn't want that, so he chose a move to Aston Villa. City have renegotiated their deal to make him a Man City player. They want him out on loan for the next 12 months, and I imagine to keep hold of Nypan, there will be promises of him being around the City first-team squad, the same promises that have been made to Djouma Ba, and Djouma Ba will also be spending the next 12 months out on loan, and I imagine in the coming maybe 12 to 24 months, the likes of Djouma Ba and Sverre Nypan will be players we'll see around the City first-team squad, or at least I do hope so, rather than just young, high-quality players that we're bringing in from a business point of view and just moving on to make a profit, which I think is a huge shame, because, you know, we've got a lot of the old guard who are going to be leaving over the coming 12 to 24 months, and it'd be nice to be able to replace them with high-quality young players who are more than capable of competing and getting to the top end. And there's nothing more frustrating than seeing City have some high-quality young players, sell them on for profit, go to another club and then prosper and end up being a tremendous player with somebody else instead. Leaves a very bitter taste in the mouth, and I think that's just something that City, I think, could maybe improve on in the transfer market. Not keep moving players on. If players can't get given their opportunity and they want to leave, that's fair enough, but when players are wanting to be here and want to be given their opportunity, we're doing everything we can to ensure that they do get their opportunity. So really interested with Djouma Ba and Sverre Nypan. How are they going to get their opportunity, and what is it going to look like? Because everybody's watching, everyone's thinking to themselves, just a business signing this, City are going to move them on for profit, and what a waste it would be. Whereas the length of these contracts and the words that are coming from the club are suggesting something maybe a little different, and I do have a feeling in the next 12 to 24 months, Djouma Ba and Sverre Nypan, we will see them around the Manchester City first-team squad. Sverre Nypan very soon will be a Manchester City player. All the formalities are done and dusted. The deal is agreed. The player's completed his medical. The contract is going to be signed, I imagine, today, and this could be announced probably as soon as tomorrow. If it's not to be tomorrow, I suspect it will come at some point this week. I imagine City will want to get a loan sorted for Sverre Nypan, so he probably will have to do another medical with another club and sign that contract, and once that's been sorted, then this transfer will be announced along with where he's going to to spend the next 12 months on loan at. Where that's going to be is open for suggestion. So in the comments below, where do you think Sverre Nypan would do really well on loan? Where's he going to get given them regular minutes that's going to prepare him best to come back to Manchester City and challenge for a spot in the Man City first team? Where would you send him? He doesn't sound overly keen on a move to Spain and Girona, and obviously a player from Norway who wants to play for Manchester City, a bit of the cooler climate. So maybe it might be worthwhile Man City just contemplating sending him on loan for to a place that's got maybe a similar climate to that of Norway and the United Kingdom, and considering maybe Scandinavia, Denmark, and obviously maybe Germany, northern parts of Germany, northern parts of France and stuff. Man City have improved their relations, of course, with the likes of Eintracht Frankfurt through the transfer of Omar Marmoush. I don't know if they're interested in Sverre Nypan, I'm just speculating. Got good relations with RC Lens from the Kodia Husinov transfer, so I'm sure there will be a lot of offers for Nypan, so it'll be interesting to see what does happen with regards to that. So that has been today's transfer update. If you guys did enjoy today's transfer update, then please do leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. Social media links are in the description as well if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description, so if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.